It was a massive turning point in my life where I turned hard work into actually making millions and millions of pounds. So the question I got asked is, tell me about your favorite investment. Like, sometimes people love to hear stories about, oh, this happened, that happened, how did you deal with this problem, that challenge. Let me tell you one of the hardest investments that I ever did. Listen carefully now, because you're going to need to know what happens right at the end for this to make sense. Let me tell you a quick story first. When I was a kid, I used to try and get everything for free. I think it was just we were broke. Our mentality was, like, let's see how cheap I can get everything. Yeah, so like if I wanted a book or a magazine or something, I'd see if I could borrow it. If I wanted a PlayStation magazine with the cheats in it to cheat at the game, then I would try and borrow it off my friend, or somehow write it down while I was at their house so I could go and key it in when I got home, rather than paying for the thing or asking my parents. They definitely were not going to buy it for me. Yeah, even playing the guitar and the piano, I literally would watch YouTube channels, watching their fingers try and figure it out. I spent 6 months to something that if I'd just paid someone £10, they could probably taught me in 6 hours. So one of the hardest things was actually investing in something, not knowing whether it was going to make me better or whether it was going to be worth it or not. Until one day I invested $49 into a webinar, an online webinar. It was to help me in objection handling. I remember exactly, very clearly. It was a 2-hour webinar. It was on a Saturday. And when I was doing this, I was there, and they then started trying to sell me a $1,000 program, like straight away on the program. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, I'm just going to get as much as I can from this. Yeah, anyway, long story short, I ended up buying the $1,000 program. And I was for days like sweating, thinking, did they hypnotize me? Did they send some frequency through the laptop or something when I was watching it? And I was like, this made me get committed. Now, one of the magical things that I didn't expect is that my learning curve absolutely went through the roof. Not only did I learn about business and sales and marketing, but my income started going up, my career started moving forward. I became a better person, a better father. Yeah. Then I got the bug and I invested in Tony Robbins. I was paying $2.5 for this, 10 grand for this, then property this, coaching this, mentoring this, and very quickly, just in a few short years, I spent £500,000 on coaching, training, retreats and mentoring and wacky stuff that you probably wouldn't even believe. But how was I able to spend that amount of money? I tell you how I spent that amount of money because the difference between me and a lot of people that I've seen on these programs is I started executing, but it was because I used a combination. Not only was I in masterminds, not only did I go to the intensive programs, not only did I have them one-on-one coaching, but I started to understand the difference between coaching, mentoring, training, and facilitation. And they're all very different. So the most interesting, favorite investment is me. Now, I seen Grant Cardone talking about this, which, by the way, the webinar was by Grant Cardone. Yeah, and he was like, pay to play. Pay for a seat at the table. And at the time, I'd still not invested any money. And I thought, this guy just wants to sell me something. Like, he's just saying this, like, I really like what he's saying, but, I was so skeptical that he just wanted to sell me something. And maybe he does. But like, when I started paying to sit at the table, the mastermind or the mentoring or the whatever, the dinner, the going into first class, getting into the places where these other successful people was, my game changed completely. And some people, I didn't even watch this video, but if you've made it this far, you're now starting to ask yourself the question like, oh, is Mark just saying that because now he wants to sell me something? Well, maybe that's true, maybe it's not. But let me ask you this question. Let's say you acquire a property. Let's say you do a property. Can things change where that can be taken away from you? Or you make less money or tax changes? Look, you know the answer, but the answer is yes. Yes, that can change. If a business works a certain way and then the market changes or software changes, the algorithm changes, advertising has changed, can now this affect your business? Yes, absolutely. If the world goes into lockdown, can this affect your business? Yes, it can. But what can never be taken away? Never, 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 is who you become in the process. That can never be taken away from you. They can even take your freaking name away from you, but they can never take who you become in the process of transformation. I'm talking when you learn, when you grow, when you understand financially, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, who you are, what you're here to do, how you can impart wisdom and impact the world. then that can never be taken away from you. So here's a funny thing, you know, because I grew up on a council estate and, you know, basically we were all broke, you know, different variants of broke, but like still, you know, living the average life, let's say. As then people did start to see online, oh, you know, Mark did this, Mark did that, he invested in property, oh, he's not full of it shit anymore, it actually paid off and it's working. People start asking me questions. Well, how much money would I need to invest? Can I invest in this? Can I do this deal? Can I do that deal? And I, at the time, was doing like webinars, talking about 7 ways to make money in property, how to do joint ventures, how to raise finance, how to get your deals, etc. So I invite them on there, yeah? So they come on and they're asking questions and they're liking it. And then I'm like, okay guys, so at the end of, like, if people want to continue this journey, they want to go forward, is it okay if I tell you how you can do that? And then I start saying, look, if you want to come on board with us, be part of our community, X, Y, and Z, then you can do this. And then people start commenting, oh my God, this is just a sales pitch. If I knew that this is what it is, I would have never showed up in the first place. Da, da, da. And now what they've done is not only took themselves out the game, and by the way, these people are still freaking broke, yeah, and I see them, yeah, or most importantly, I don't see them because they've gone into their own shell in their own world, just living under limitation. But not only that, but now they just discounted all the other value. You know, because they're just like, well, yeah, that must have been a sales pitch. You only wanted to tell me that because you wanted to do this. And they literally just took themselves out of the game completely. And I've seen this endless of times. Yeah, but the truth is, if you want to make more money, you must be able to add more value. And to add value in return, you make sales, whether it's renting. Like if I rent this room out, that's a sale. You know, if I have a construction company, that's a sale. I open resorts and people come in and pay for memberships, that's a sale. If I offer coaching, sales, training, mentoring, whatever, that is a sale. I'm adding value. Now, if I want to be better at selling, I must be willing to be sold. And this is something that people cannot get in their head. They're like, no, oh, he's just trying to sell me something. Yeah, and these are the people that are always struggling for money. And struggling for money don't mean, oh, I only earn 20 grand a year or 10 grand a year. Some people are making 100 grand a year and they're struggling for money because they're so skeptical and they find it so difficult because they're blocking everything. It's like if you want to help someone, most people, they help someone, they run themselves into the ground because they're not willing to be helped themselves. So if you want to help other people, you got to be willing to be helped. If you can't ask for help, how can you go out there and then help other people? It just doesn't work like that. Let me know if this is valuable, because I'm not sure on this, like this might close people up, but let me know in the comments, is this valuable? Does this make sense? You can send direct messages to us as well if you want to go deeper into the subject to see how we can help you move forward and discover your true potential. Until next time, do the right thing for the right reason, because that is the only way you'll discover your true potential.